All right, everybody. It's Andreas Hale, senior combat sports writer for the Sport News, and I'm here with the bantamweight champion, the man that John Anik and Sean O'Malley already say is the GOAT at bantamweight, Aljamain Sterling, the Funk Master. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing well. It's a couple days out from another fight night. Can't wait. Big pay-per-view event, and I'm headlining again, so life's good.
In the intro, I just said, like, John Anik and Sean O'Malley himself said you're already the GOAT at bantamweight. When you hear them both say that, because O'Malley might be saying it to say, if I beat him, then I'm the GOAT. But Anik is already saying it, right? Like, Anik's saying it's a little bit different. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on those two calling you the GOAT of bantamweight already?
I mean, it's cool. Even if Sean is saying it in that way, I respect that he can actually fix his lips to even say that. So it's just, I think it's just an appreciation for all the hard work I put in over the years. I came into the sport with the dreams of becoming a UFC champion. I accomplished all the goals that I planned to accomplish when I was younger, when I first got into the sport. And now to defend the belt 3 times, looking forward to defending for a fourth, man. It's just nothing short of surreal. So to be here, young black man from Uniondale, not knowing if he was even going to go to college and not knowing what he was going to do with his future. Pretty broken up household. I'm very I'm very grateful for everything I've accomplished thus far. And I look forward to just getting more what we call icing on the cake. So going out there, being a guy like Sean, and I can show him why he should be calling me the bantamweight GOAT.
You think it was blowing smoke a little bit, though, just to say, do you think he meant it, or do you think it was blowing smoke just to say if he beat you, that now he's the GOAT?
I think it's more to toot his own horn should he, knock on wood, get a win. And, it is deserving. It's almost like Islam Makhachev when he beat Oliveira. Oliveira was probably considered the greatest lightweight of all time outside of Khabib, maybe, and you can make that argument in terms of risk, depending on what you consider valuable in that discussion, right? So he comes in and he beats him. Now everyone's looking at him like he's the guy that's accomplished everything the other guy accomplished, even though he didn't compete nowhere near as much or against the level of competition that he competed against, time in and time out. And I think that's what it's all about. And I think I've done that where I've been in the game, I've been active. I haven't sat out for a tremendous amount of years with injuries. And that's not a knock on Dom or anything like that. That's just the facts of what I'm calling what it is. I've been active through the changes of the landscape of MMA, especially in the bantamweight division, and to be here, it's just cool to see some recognition. But at the end of the day, I personally, I don't really give a shit about that stuff, man. To me, I'm doing this for one reason, and that's to get the bag, bro. That's literally it. That's why I started fighting. I wanted to become a UFC champ. I knew that came with making more money, and I'm happy, man. I set my life up for the rest of my life. And this is, like I said, this next fight, this is icing on the cake. So, Sugar Show, welcome to the Funk Show.
What's the first thing you bought when you got the first big check from being a champion? What's the first thing you spent it
on? First big check. I mean, you got the Jan fight. But I bought my mom her house before that fight. I mean, I would consider that a big purchase. Honestly, if I'm being completely candid, I don't really buy a ton of stuff. I bought my Tesla, but that was 2019. That was 2 years before becoming a champ. So I honestly, I put a lot of my money in the stock, man. I really do. I bought 3 houses. That was before becoming the champion. I bought my 3rd house after beating Corey Sandhagen, and I plugged away a lot of my money in the stock market. And thankfully, I did the right thing where my returns now literally pay for my mortgages and everything, and I don't have to worry about nothing. So, like I said, like I've been smart. I learned from a lot of people who are smarter than me because I didn't have this knowledge coming up from my high school. We weren't taught any of this, and I'm pretty sure you probably can relate to a lot of that.
Of course.
Our neighborhoods and our demographics don't really get that type of education. So I try to learn from people who've done it before me. And I learned to let your interests pay for those other things, those other nice shiny things that you like. So after this fight, though, I'm definitely gonna buy. I think we're gonna get ourselves a new whip. I think we might have to upgrade to something a little bit more luxurious. We'll see, but that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. But of course, I don't want to count the birds in the bush. I want to get the ones in hand first.
Absolutely. Now that you mention it, as an African American male who came up the way that you did and to find this kind of success and being able to invest your money, is there something else that you want to do now? I mean, yes, you are the champion and people are calling you the GOAT, but you're also setting an example for young African Americans who want to get in the sport and what to do with their money. Is that a future goal of yours once you're done with this game? Is to show people, other fighters, maybe how to invest and how to save their money and how to do the right things?
Yeah, so I briefly spoke with Forrest Griffin a little bit at the UFC PI and just spoke to him about the education on the power of real estate and what that can do for you in your future. I know that's not predominantly African American based in terms of the athletes that we would be speaking to, but just trying to be an advocate for that, to let these guys know, like, in the beginning, you might not be making a ton of money, but if you keep plugging away, keep doing the right things, and you eventually become a homeowner. I'm not saying homeowner is for everybody, but if your situation makes sense, this is a great way to start to build long-term, I don't want to say wealth, but maybe riches, until you could get to a point where you might become the champion. You never know which way your life's going to go. So that is something I would like to do more of, and just kind of give that education back to people so that they can learn it sooner than I did. I didn't learn it till like 26, 27, and I was still trying to claw my way up and make a decent living while fighting and competing and still working a side job. So if there's any knowledge or anything like that I could give back to the youth, and even my younger guys, we got a group chat with our Law MMA fight team. And every time these guys fight, I tell them, like, please put some of your money away for taxes. Do not get caught up in this thing. I accidentally, and I'm ahead of the curve, and I still made a mistake because I had one little slight confusion where I could have just simply asked the question before I did it. And I made a purchase on a house and I over renovated, not realizing that the renovations weren't necessarily an immediate tax write-off. And I found myself in a tax hole where, going into the Corey Sandhagen fight, that was almost like a do or die in terms of, I need to win this fight because I have like $75K in taxes I need to pay back to Uncle Sam. So let that be a lesson to everybody out there. Like, make sure you ask questions, man. Don't pretend or act like you're the smartest in the room. And again, I know this stuff going into it, but for some reason, I kind of just drew a blank, and I just kind of just got overexcited with the renovations for my mom's house. And when I looked back, I was like, oh, I actually can't write none of this off. So yeah, that was learning lesson.
Learning lessons, man. All right, let's get back to the grind real quick, because just 3 months ago, you fighting Henry Cejudo, a person that some people thought Henry Cejudo was coming back to get his title. You beat him. We haven't really heard him chirping as much. The King of Cringe has kind of tapered it down a little bit. How satisfying was that victory, especially the manner that you did it? Because it wasn't just, it was a clinic in terms of grappling where you showed him that there's levels to MMA grappling, that his Olympic wrestling wasn't on the same level of what you bring to the octagon. So how satisfying was that win for you?
Oh, it was great, man. He keeps talking about his Olympic gold medal, and he defended it. He won it August 19th, and he was looking forward to beating me, then fighting Sean on this night. And I whenever he puts out a little clip, I just calmly go into his comment section and like, don't worry, I'll defend our Olympic gold medal August 19th. I will defend our honor. And I think he's a little salty and butthurt about that. But it was cool to beat a guy like that because he's very well accomplished. And for me, that's more so what it's about versus a guy who just has a ton of followers, Like, I think I get more respect beating Henry than I get more respect than beating Sean. Sean is just like for the kids that play Fortnite. I'll become cool to them. But for me, it's like, in terms of a competitor, Henry Cejudo was the fight. That was the matchup. And the fact that I was able to get it done. And honestly, I thought I won 4 rounds to 1, at worst 3 rounds to 2. And, I'm actually very, very shocked that I almost lost that just because of I don't know. We just don't know what the judges are looking at. I went back and I watched it a couple of times. I'm like, I just can't see how they can have anyone could have given him 3 rounds in that fight. But whatever. I'm glad the right guy won. I think the overall consensus, most people who watched it live thought he won. And then when they went back and they watched it, those same people came back around and said, no, after rewatching it, we believe that you actually won. So that's how I felt in the middle of the fight as well. So beating a guy like that, I think it does huge. I think it was huge for my career. An Olympic gold medalist, two division champion, and I think I comfortably beat him. And I didn't need to like get too much outside of myself. It was a high level chess match, and when I do go back and watch it, there were some points where I'm like, man, I could have done this, but I felt like this could have possibly happened just because of the yin and yang of the things that we were both making these adjustments.
Right.
And I'm not quite sure Sean is going to be able to bring that type of chess pieces or chess pieces to the game, So let's see what his strategy is going to look like. I think I beat the most sound guy intellectually in the octagon already. And now it's just up to me to go out there and do my job again. I think I'm in tremendous shape right now. I just need to go out there and just put it on this boy.
Dude, so after the win, it seemed like you were going to get a little bit of time off. And then things got weird. The fight was announced. And then Dana started talking about like, oh, Aljo don't want to fight. What the hell was going on?
I think it was just a miscommunication. And I spoke to Hunter about this. And I know sometimes they get mad at me because I talk to the media about certain things that they would rather us not talk about. But I guess that's just how I am. I like to be as candid as I can with the fans and everything like that. So I think I just think there was a lack of communication. And I even told Hunter, I expressed my concerns. I was like, dude, he's got to realize that whatever he says, his cult following, they take it as gospel. So if he says Aljamain Sterling can't get out of his own way, even if they don't even know what happened, I'm the bad guy. I was like, right. That's the one thing that kind of irked me in that whole thing is just like you paint a picture of me where I literally do everything that's asked of me. I've never once said no. You know what I mean? So I was like, it would be nice if the framing of the words could be, hey, I see Aljamain saying that there's some backlash or he's injured and he's not sure if he's going to be able to fight. It's like, maybe say, well, we haven't yet spoken to him. Let us take our time to go look into that. Aljamain has always done everything we've ever asked, so I can't see how this is going to be a problem. He said he's going to fight, so he's going to fight. He's always fought. It doesn't take much to do something like that, So I get it. I get the boss. Sometimes just I don't know. I express my issue with that, and I'm like, dude, I just feel it does more tearing me down than it does building me up. And as a champion who's active, I think it would be more beneficial to both of us to actually build us up for the fans as opposed to tearing me down. And I'm not sure if that's his intentions. I can't speak on what's in Dana's mind. Whenever we talk, we have great conversations. Whenever I talk to Hunter, we have great conversations, talk about family, things like that. And it's always been helpful, anything I want in terms of, and I'm not one that's needy or asking for things, but anything I want, they tell me I can reach out. So I think it was just a weird spot, but I never once said like, dude, I'm not going to fight. I was annoyed by it because I'm like, you don't make fights the night of the fight, but here you are making a fight without actually checking on me. And then the whole thing happened with Charles Oliveira. And then I think he jokingly was saying that like, maybe Oliveira has plans and he wants to go hang out for the summer. So we got to see what his intentions are. And I just thought that was pretty funny. And I'm like, I just felt like that was just being petty, but maybe it was just him trying to make a laugh about it. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just looking into it too much, but I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I really don't know.
It's weird. I think
all good.
I think a lot of fans were like, what was that all about? Because it felt like it came out of left field and he could have handled it a little better. And, as a promoter, your job is to promote. It doesn't help you to down your champions in any way, shape, or fashion. So everybody thought it was a little bit weird, but it's good to hear that you guys, it sounds like everything smoothed over this thing. Your relationship with Dana, would you think you say everything's cool. Do you feel like everything's perfect? Or you think that there might be some things that you guys could fix in your relationship?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's cool. I haven't like I don't have any personal issues with him whatsoever. I just think it was just more so that one thing, and it bothered me, and I said something about it. I was like, dude, like trust me, you guys want me to fight, I'm gonna fight, but just know, like the reason why we fight is so that we can enjoy the fruits of our labor. Like my main thing is just making sure I'm communicating. And I said the same thing. It's like it would be nice if this was actually communicated with me, because clearly Henry Cejudo knew about the game plan for a fight on August 19th that I had no idea about. So there had to have been a conversation where maybe they thought I was gonna lose. I didn't.
I mean,
So
it
hey,
is what it is.
yeah, I'm here, man. So let's make good business together, and that's really it. You know, I'm out here to keep writing this legacy, and I'm gonna keep doing the same.
Two more questions for you. One, everybody talks about this fight in two ways: Sean O'Malley striking versus Aljo's grappling. Is that how you see it too, or do you think these people are seeing this all wrong? And an example I bring up is Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford just had this fight, and people saw it two ways. And Terrence Crawford ran roughshod over Errol Spence in ways that nobody saw imaginable. In your head, do you think there's going to be a way this fight goes that I don't think anybody's expecting, or are people right? Is it striking versus grappling?
I think it's striking versus a grappler that can strike. And I think people are thinking I'm like terrified to strike with Sean. I'm just like, can you guys show me a fight with a top 10 or top 5 guy where his striking was so devastating that I should be scared and worried and panic wrestle to go into this fight? And I don't think anyone could actually point that out to me. So um, I know people were trying to say he touched up Jan a couple of times, which made him turn into a wrestler. I think Jan saw the path of least resistance and was like, you know what? Let me mix it up instead of just primarily making it a striking match. And let me take him down and make this an easier night. So you could look at it like, oh, I hit him one time and he turned into a wrestler. You could look at it like, no, strategically, it's just smarter to piece you up when I could piece you up, take you down when I could take you down, win the fight, and make it as easy as I can. So I think Jan was just using a higher fight IQ, the same way Corey Sandhagen has been doing the same. These guys want to go out there and make it a blood match. Hey, by all means, go ahead and do that. When you go out there, you compete against Aljamain Sterling. Just know Aljamain don't do that. Aljamain comes out there, he's going to backpack you, take you down, and take the path of least resistance. You're on your back, getting punched in the face, getting elbowed until you either turn, submit, or you turn, give up your neck, and get choked.
Last question. You've been busy, man. Like I said, you just fought Cejudo 3 months ago. Come out victorious. Is it time for Aljo to take a little vacation? Are you gonna enjoy the fruits of your labor for once, or is it if they call you again, you'll be ready?
Yeah, they told me, they said if you do this, you can have all the vacation time you need until 2024. I said, okay, deal. I was like, I got some stuff that I have in the works. You know, I'm working on my rum company. I just signed a equity deal with Nerd Focus. So we're brand partners in that. I got Funk Harbor coming out. It should be pre-sale, should be released hopefully in the next week or two. So we can start doing stuff like that. And I got some other ventures I want to work on, but we're definitely going to take I think we're going to do sponsorship for the Caribbean Day Parade on September 4th out here in New York City, I believe, or Brooklyn. I forget which part it's going to be in, but it's going to be here in New York. And then after that, we're going to take a little vacation. We were supposed to go to Paris, but my brother is going to fight. Both of them are making their return to Cage Fury after two very long layoffs for both of them. So I'm going to corner them for that after the Labor Day parade. Then I'm going to go to UFC Australia, go hang out, probably go to Bali and do a little touring from there. And at least a month, man, where we could just kind of unwind. My fiance, she's done with school. She can now teach. So she's just moving to Vegas. So we got a lot going on. And I think people tend to forget that our life doesn't just revolve around just training and fighting. We got to do other things that the everyday person has to do on top of our other job, which is competing as a professional athlete.
Sorry, I do have one more question. You know everybody's gonna ask this. Someone asked it too. What the hell? This your last fight at 35? Win or lose?
That's the plan. That is the plan. I think win or learn, I would have to do some reflecting and seeing what makes the most sense physically and see if those aspirations of wanting to bulk up really makes any sense at that point. But, of course I win. Merab gets his shot at the belt. I go up, I challenge Volkanovski, an opportunity to become champ, make history, become another person on the short list of people who are able to actually accomplish that goal. And maybe I defend the belt once or twice, and I'm done. I don't know. At that point, it's just like I'm fighting, hoping that someone's my equal until I lose. And I know people want you to do that, but it's just like it doesn't make a ton of sense to do that, I guess. Because then when you do lose, then it's like, oh, you still got it. And then if you lose again, then it's like, oh, that one, you got the monkey, you got to get the monkey off your back. And then you're down 3. And then you're just like, oh, where do you go from here? Last thing I want to do is destroy my legacy. So I want to make sure I'm taking fights that make sense for my career. And at the end of the day, the name of the game is to win, right? So I want to make sure I'm putting myself in the best possible position to win.
Absolutely. Well, Aljo, I appreciate the time once again. Hopefully I'll have to talk to you in 3 months. Hopefully you get to take another break after this fight. And then we can wrap maybe in 2024. But good luck to you this weekend. I'll be watching. And speak to you soon, my man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, later.